Good morning, everybody. It is Marie here from Skane's Quarantine Diaries, day 42, Tuesday, 6th of May. So, day 42, 6 weeks today in lockdown. And actually, it's a bit cooler today. I've had to snug up. I've had to rug up here in the bay. We've had it absolutely beautiful and lovely. And then the squally front came through yesterday. And dare I say it, there is an ever so light icing sugar dusting of snow on the Ruahine Range this morning. So yeah, I have to admit I did have to put on the Miss Jane this morning because it was definitely a bit chilly. How is everything at your place today? I hope it is going well. You may have seen I popped up a tile. I'm going to do a Q&A today. So if you've got questions, anything, fire them at me. I mean, they can be knitting related. They can be cooking related. I'll try and answer them. We'll see how we go. I do have other stuff to chat about today as well, which is also good news. And I'll let you know about what we've got happening tomorrow. So first, we may as well get the good stuff out of the way nice and early, as I'm having to pull up my book of words. The lovely Claire this morning sent me through the winners for the Skane Speakeasy and our March winners, which were Flash Your Stash. Now, for Flash Your Stash, you had two options. There were two prize packs, $100 Skanes vouchers. If you happen to actually do one where you were in it as a selfie, we actually doubled the money. And I'm pleased to say when we put the randomizer over, we got one of each. So our $100 voucher winner for Flashing Me Stash in March is Debbie Jacobs. She gets $100. But Cynthia Jacques, she threw herself in there, full-on selfie, so she gets $200. So I will be organising those vouchers once I come off here. So thank you very much and congratulations to those guys. And for the April draw, which is Binge Knit, and we're continuing that in May. I've got Janie Worthington, or it could be Jane actually, I think that might be a typo, Worthington and Chris Paulser. You have both won $100 vouchers, so congratulations to you guys. So we will get onto those vouchers this afternoon and flick those out to you on Facebook. So hello, my dog's come down here to say hello to me. So congratulations, guys. Here we go. Pauline is saying a big dumping on Mount Taranaki this morning. Yeah, definitely came through. I bet in down south, if any of you guys are down south, let me know if you've got fresh snow down there. So congratulations. What, do you want to go outside? I've only just started. No, you just want love, don't you? Typical. It's not as if he hasn't had love this morning. He's been getting loads of love. Right, shall we show everybody our Rambler, which is now covered in dog hair because when I was knitting it this morning, you spent half your time snuggling all over it, didn't you? Right, so not a lot to report other than inches, column inches. So as you can see, here we go. Wait, I am, yep, it's good progress, really good progress on that. I've done a measurement, so to the hemline, I need about 10 centimetres to get to the hemline to match the tunic that I have got on here, which is what I want. And then I'll probably do a 5 centimetre rolled, like fold over hem, and so essentially I've got 15 centimetres worth of knitting. Yes. What do you want? Can you sit on your mat, please? I'm busy. Because I just know you're wanting attention. That's all you're wanting. So Rambler progress is going very, very well. Right. So I'm really happy with that. Really, really happy with that. And of course, I'm going to be starting the Goldwing next. And I've also got a cowl that I'd actually like to get out of the way as well, because it's actually a really nice quick knit, that cowl. So I'm really, really pleased with how that's going. Really pleased with how that's going. What, do you really want to go outside? What do you want? Outside or sit on your mat? Right. No. Stay there. Tell you what, it's never worked with animals or children, I tell you. Anywho, what I thought I would talk about today was yesterday I showed you a whole bunch of patterns. So my next project is this Goldwing here by Jennifer Steingass, but I showed you a whole range of patterns that would work really, really well with Southlander yarns, because I'm just, I adore Southlander, and you want to go outside. I'm going to have to let my little friend outside. Hold on a second. Okay, come on. And then you're not coming back in because it's too cold to have the door open. There you go. There you are. Don't you love it? He got to the door, got his snout out there, saw how cold it was. Louis, can you let Renly out, please?
I did that.
Beautiful, and I think you can do another one too.
Well, I only can do one.
I think you can do more than one. There you go, and you shut the door, and you make sure you send that to him, please. Right, the joys of parenting and homeschooling. It's going to be one of those days today. I just know it. I got the technology working, but now I can't get family and dogs sorted. Right, where was I? Oh, yes, projects. Projects that we could use with Southlander, and I really love them. So we talked about the Weekender from Andrea Mowry, which I have the sample here in my hot little hand, and now I've just found the portable landline phone, which I lost from inside the house, hiding under that, and that's in Southlander oatmeal. So it got me thinking to other projects and other yarns that we can use, and one of them in terms of when I was in the shop yesterday, shot into the warehouse to check on the team, and I needed to get some more Southlander for my project. I picked up this guy here, which is Silver Lining, and the color's called Persephone. Now, I don't know what it looks like on your cameras at home, but this is looks quite sort of mustardy there. It is actually sort of more of a mossy green. It's utterly beautiful. It is a very, very subtle monotone, like the others that we've had in that limited range, but you can see enough of the grain that you can get that beautiful grain come through. And a lot of this is sold out. There's little bits and pieces of it left. It's on the sale page, and I'll put the link in the comments. But I wanted to put this out and show this to you, because not everybody can comfortably wear Southlander. Some people just find it a little bit too rustic for them, and this is a really great alternative, and it will work really, really well for the Weekender. It would look great for that. It would work really well for the Travel East from Marie Green. It would also work beautifully, and in fact, I think that colour for this in Fort from Jared Flood would be amazing. And it would also work very, very well for that one there, which is Leavenwick. So if you need the links for those, they were on yesterday's show. But if you were wanting to do those patterns, you're wanting to still have that very natural sort of look, something a wee bit more rustic, but a wee bit softer to wear for the skin. This is now up and live. I apologise for my against the concrete block photography, but it is now up and it is now doing. Hi Marie, what is the pattern of the wrap in the background? This one here. That is the Doodler by Stephen West, Doodler as in Doddler, and that was a mystery knit along from about 5 years ago, I think. Yeah, it's great, isn't it? It's really pretty. So the Doodler by Stephen West. I'll make sure that I put that down for you. Doodler. Right. Okay, yeah, so if you're wanting any of those other patterns, but in something a little bit softer, the Silver Lining, and as I said, it is now listed on the sale page, and I'll put a link in there as well. The other yarn that I noticed that we still had actually some reasonable stocks of, we got quite a bit of it in for our epic sale, and we've sold out of some of the colours, but there are some colours still available. And this is a yarn that it's one of those yarns that you see it listed and you go, oh yeah, okay. And now thanks Kylie. Kylie's just gone and put that Doodler link in the comments for us. It's one that the colours are very classic, but you actually have to touch it and squish it to feel how amazing it is. And it's one of those yarns that in the shop when the epic sale was on and people were coming into the store, they were touching and feeling this yarn and were just like, wow, that is incredible. The handle on this is so unbelievably beautiful, squishy, smooth and soft. And you're saying, okay, Marie, take it, put us out of our misery. What is it? He now wants to come in. He's been out, done what he has to do. Now he wants to come in. He can wait. It is the Bellissimo St. George Merino cotton. It's a 50-50 blend, and this yarn we got it in because it's brilliant for those that have got hyper sensitive skins. The merino, it really honestly does feel like cotton, a really soft cotton, and it is brilliant if you've got hypersensitivities. It is beautiful and soft and smooth. I think it is machine washable too. Let me just check. I just know that if you were to make something in this, like a simple sort of sweater type sweatshirt, and I think it's called the petite knits jumper, the sweater, if anyone knows the ones. It's a very simple sweater. That would be fabulous in this. Let me see if it's machine washable. Oh, I can never read this. Yes, it is machine washable. It is machine washable. Gentle machine wash. It is utterly, it really is quite lovely. And so I've gone and bought the shades that we have, which are that sort of, oh, there we go, they look quite good there. So we've got that really rich chocolatey brown up there, this beautiful sort of deep periwinkle, almost faded denim blue, a lovely bracken shade there, and there is also a grey marl. And I know people have been looking for some light grey yarns. These are all still available. And Jeanette's just saying she knitted a cardigan in it. It's absolutely beautiful. It is beautiful. And it's one that if you see it online, you don't necessarily know how good it is because there's no frame of reference. It really is quite lovely. And I thought I would just sort of show you guys this today because we do have fairly reasonable-ish stocks left at the minute, like definitely garment worthy stocks. And it really is just quite lovely. It is a little bit more expensive because it is super premium Australian merino with that cotton. It is an imported yarn, but I think it is something that is worth definitely considering if you are finding that you're wanting something a wee bit softer and you wanted to do something for those that are really sensitive. And I think the cardigan that it would be absolutely perfect in, and I'm sorry the picture's not the greatest, my printer didn't print it out very nicely, but that's the Flory cardigan from Libby Johnson at Truly Myrtle. Now that's a 23 stitch tension. I've tried this cardigan on. Deb from Outlaw Yarn has one of these, and actually this cardigan in Bohemia Sport is absolutely divine. She's done one in the parchment. It's amazing. The 23 stitch tension for this is absolutely no problem. It's on the finer side of DK. It's 125 meters per ball. So even though the ball band says 22 stitches, to be brutally honest with you, 23 I think it's happy place. Libby's done that to a 3.5 millimeter needle. I think Dallas, it's a DK 8 ply, but I think you'll find that you'll hit that 23 stitch tension. Some of you will be 3.5, but I think most of you will actually get it on a 3.75, and you'll get that no trouble whatsoever for that. And this is just this cardigan. I don't know what size the one that Deborah knitted was, but I've tried that one on and it fits me beautifully. If you're here, Deb, let me know because it's lovely. This is just, it's one of those cardigans. It's what I call a today cardigan, when it's a bit blustery and a bit cool and just not 100% outside. You're needing that extra lay. You're just wanting to slip something on and just go, that's Flory. Rebel is very like that too. That's in a 4 ply, but this Flory is utterly perfect. And I really think that this Bellissimo will be ideal in it. If you don't fancy doing the Bellissimo, the other yarn that's perfect for it is the Outlaw Bohemia Sport, because I've tried it, worn it in Bohemia Sport, and it's amazing. And just that little bit of possum is incredible. It's the Bellissimo St. George, Leslie, and if you go to Importers Clearance, and in fact I might pop the link up now because I did actually pre-copy and paste the link for everybody to make live, because it is a little bit harder to find. It's in a different category to where you would generally look. So there you go. I've just gone and pop that link up. Yes, Bellissimo St. George is what it's called, and it really is quite lovely. So it's in the Importers Clearance page. So I've gone and popped that up there for you now. And in fact, I'll pop the sale page one up as well for that silver lining too, because it really is. There is some of the other colours are sold out, and I think there's a very lower numbers on. I think the purple's gone, but the pink Freya could be still there, and I can't remember the other colour. But this one, Persephone, is now definitely up and ready. It arrived. It just got caught. It just got caught backlogged with the others, and we just didn't get it in during Epic Sale, which was a bit of a shame, but not the end of the world. Right, and I've just gone and popped Florrie up there for you as well. There we go. Oh, thank you, Renly. Right, now, questions. Has anyone got any other questions for me this morning? Anything, I don't mind. Baking, cooking, dogs, wine, food, knitting. I'll answer those. I'm quite good at those ones. Those ones are probably the most likely ones I can answer. But no, do holler out and let me know. And I'm going to let him in so you can get some questions cooked up. Come on. You know, you could have stayed inside by the fire. That would have been vastly better for you. But no. You ready now? You happy? You going to sit? Good boy. I tell you. Right, sit. Good boy. Okay. Well done. All right. What else did I have to show you? I did have other things that I was going to show you this morning. Yes, that was the other thing I was going to tell you. If you jump, oh gosh. I'm so disorganized this morning. I'll tell you what I did this morning before I got in here. If you jump onto that importers clearance page, Claire reminded me to tell you that the mohairs, we did have the super fun kid mohair from Cegia, the Vivian mohair, and it is now, we've restocked the colours that we had in before. They've just come back in. Kylie wants to know what sort of dog I have. I've got my dog, the one that's being so naughty now, and I'm going to flip this around so you can see him. There he is. You going to say hello to everybody, Reno? That's Renly. Renly Baratheon Bulldog is his name. And he is 7, and he's mummy's baby. He's a whopping great big. So, there we go. Now the other one's out there, and he's feeling left out. I'm not letting him in because he is a 116 kilo mastiff, and he'll come in here and he will send everything flying. So he's stayed here. Right, Janice, will you be able to get some more 2-ply yarn again? To be honest, Janice, I don't know. What we cleared out was everything that the warehouser had in stock. So probably, so the short answer to that is down the future, yes, probably at some stage of the Bellissimo that we have, not the Bellissimo, the Central Lavaggi that we have at the moment, what we have is what we have because we've just picked up the discontinued and clearance stock. So yeah, I bought pretty much everything that he had. He didn't have a huge amount, like some of the colours that we listed is, sorry, if you're wondering what I'm doing, I'm scratching my dog's back. Some of the colours he had listed were only sort of 2 or 3 hanks. So yeah, so definitely if you're wanting to pick some of that up, you might want to snap it up now. What's the scarf you had on yesterday? Oh, Sandra, what is the scarf that I had on yesterday? That's a beauty. Scarf I had, was it a pinky one? Pinky one I had on yesterday? If it was a pinky one that I had on yesterday, it was Send All Your Love by Martina Bean. I wore that the day before, and I think that's the one that I had on yesterday as well. I can't quite remember. I'll have to go back and look it up. I think that's the one I had on yesterday, Send All Your Love by Martina. The lotto numbers. Claire. What are our lotto numbers? We've got our own little schemes. Lotto, I don't know. I delegate that. Claire's in charge of lotto for skeins, so she looks after that. Oh, funny. That is so funny. Yes, and Janice is just saying it's the best 2-ply she's used. I know, it is divine. If you haven't purchased that yet, and it's on the sale page, it's a 2-ply buttery soft Italian merino. Well, I think it's probably actually Australian merino to be fair, but manufactured in Italy. It is incredibly beautiful and soft. It is amazing. Really, really lovely. Christina is asking, I am knitting the first yoke sweater from the bottom up. And it's not, and as not sure of the length of sleeves, is it a thing to start sleeves with a provisional cast on, and if they're too short I can pick up those stitches and knit down to increase the length? This is right. Okay, Christine, this is a good question. She's knitting her first yoke sweater from the bottom up. So it looks like Elizabeth Zimmerman's yoke sweater. Not sure of the length of the sleeves. Yeah, start the sleeves with a provisional cast on. if it's not long enough, you can pick up. Yes. So the short answer to that, Christina, is yes. And I don't know what cuff she has on that sweater, but this is the really nice thing. If it is a ribbed cuff, you can do your provisional cast on, knit your cuff. And then, so this one here, so for example, this sleeve here, this is a 3/4 length sleeve in this particular one. But so for argument's sake, you've knit your sleeve and it's 3/4 length and you really want it to be full length to here. The beautiful thing about a ribbed cuff is that from a design perspective, you can get ribbed cuffs that almost go up to elbow amount. So if you've got a provisional cast on and you need to actually extend that ribbing out in the other direction, you can certainly do that. The only thing with that to remember, obviously, is that sometimes the stitches, you'll have them pointing in the opposite direction. Does that make sense? Or the other way to do it, if you want everything pointing in the same direction, your stitches pointing in the same direction, is that you knit, if you figure out how much you're short by, so still do your provisional cast on, you find out how much you're short by, you knit that extension, and then you graft your extension to your live provisional stitches. The other way you can do it is that you knit your sleeve with your provisional cast on, and whatever it is, whether it's just plain stockinette or garter or whatever I'm picking, it'll be stocking stitch. So you don't do any sort of a ribbing there. So you even, so like, think about it, because I'm not familiar with the pattern, but if it were me, if it said to knit, say, 2 inches or 3 to 5 centimeters of ribbing, or whatever the cuff is, then start your stockinette. I would then put your provisional cast on in at when you start your stockinette or stocking stitch, then do your sleeve, then pick up your provisional cast on, and then you'll knit your cuff backwards going the other way. So then that way your cuff and all the stitches in your cuff are all heading in the same direction, and they're completely fluid. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. I think that's probably the safest, particularly if you're wanting to get your sleeve really, nicely done. Now, yesterday, if you go back to yesterday's broadcast, in there, Kurt Payne popped a link for I think it was the Suzanne Bryan, or it might have been Vogue. There was a link in there, though, about a really good blog post on doing sleeves and actually getting measurements and adjusting your length for your sleeves. So check that out as well. You might find that quite useful. But yeah, I think that would be the safest way. If you're going to do your provisional cast on, you actually start your sleeve from it just after when that cuff is finished, and then you knit your cuff secondary. And then that way, you're going to get it spot on. There we go. Oh, okay, spot on as you want it. Just back to the earlier question about the scarf that I had, shawl I had, or scarf I had on yesterday. See, I can't even remember what I had on yesterday. Sue said it's the one knitted out of 1931. Right. That is called Niada by Martina Beam. And that link, I think I popped in yesterday's broadcast. So Niada, N-A-I-A-D-A by Martina Beam. This is also Martina Beam. This is Hitchhiker, this one. So yes, and Send All Your Love, which was the one I wore the day before, is also Martina Beam. There is a theme. I'm a bit of a Martina fan, so yeah. Tidy way to pick up stitches for button bands on floozy. Now that's a great question, Barbara. I really like, so I have a tendency to, sometimes where is it? Have I got a swatch lurking that I can show? Oh, I can probably show you on this. Sometimes what you'll want to do is you'll want to sort of always pick up, and it's very, very small, so you probably can't see it. You'll always want to pick up in that very first lot of ridging there. I will often sacrifice one column of stitches and actually pick up from the next one inwards, because depending on how you've done your selvage, those selvage stitches can be a little bit, higgledy-piggledy and googly-woogly and not 100% fabulous. So the first thing I do is I don't necessarily pick up in that first column of stitches. I will actually pick up in the next column over. The other thing that I do too, which is actually a tip that Ethan has talked about in the past, is dividing out because I'm not, again, 100% what the instruction is on Floozy, but it will say to pick up X number of stitches to a period of time, to a certain space. So what I will be inclined to do is that whenever you're picking up stitches for a button band, so heading down, you're joining vertical work with horizontal work. So you won't be picking up every single stitch across this horizontal plane, because essentially these will be longer. So the most usually, and if you're going to picking up against a stocking stitch edge, the basic rule of thumb is you work in multiples of 4. So I will always pick up 3 stitches, then skip 1, 3 stitches, then skip 1, 3 stitches, and skip 1. And 9 times out of 10, I'm going to be okay with that. But it isn't always. The way Ethan does it is he will look at, he actually divides it up into sections. So he will look at the total number of stitches that needs to be picked up. He will then look at the halfway point and even divide back to the quarter way point. And then so he divides it into smaller chunks. And then with those smaller chunks, he'll go, right, if there are, say, for argument's sake, 100 stitches that need to be picked up, he knows that within a quarter chunk between 2 removable markers, he needs to pick up 25 stitches. And then he'll count the number of rows that he has in those 25, and then he will divide accordingly to know how many to pick up and how many to miss in that section. So when you're picking up all the way around, it is nice and even. So that certainly helps. Yeah, and as I said, I don't actually pick it up in the column that you would think that you would pick it up. I always move it over one, and it does mean that you may end up, and I haven't, I've done it actually. I'll strip off and I'll show you here because I've done it on this one. So what it means is that you may end up with, oh gosh, look, there's an end I haven't woven in. How embarrassing. Right. It just means that you may end up with a little bit more of a sort of a seam there, inside seam, than what you would normally have. But it'll only be a column's more. It won't be anything that drastic, but I just find the edge is so much neater, because that selvage edge, that selvage column edge is, yeah, as I said, unless you have really done quite a good, nice, solid, firm selvage, whatever that may be, you'll possibly find that that's a bit hickory-pickory. Right. Okay. Oh, wood. Okay, wood. Stranding, silver lining, 4-ply. Oh, okay. Roxana's asking, with stranding, silver lining, 4-ply, so I'm assuming that's the Lumiere that you're talking about, which is actually technically a 3-ply, but it is quite puffy. And Vivian Mohair go, okay, or would it be too warm for Auckland? I think stranding those two together, if you've got Lumiere, which is this one here, in your stash. Oh, now he's going to eat a piece of paper. Oh, this dog, I tell you. If you've got the Lumiere, which is that one there, and I think I might even have a ball in here. Have I got a ball in my magical bag of trees to do? Gosh. Okay. So if it's this one that you've got, that plus that mohair would be amazing in Auckland. Yeah, I think that would be fine. And the what was the cardigan that Libby had on the other day? Was it Huia? It was, and it was that really light mohair. Oh, it was amazing. Yes, that would be great. If you're talking about the DK with the mohair, it'd be pretty warm. I think it might be a bit warm for Auckland if it's silver lining DK with the mohair. But if it's this Lumiere that you've got, that and the mohair would be amazing. Really? Thank you. I hope you didn't want to see that picture of Florrie again, because the dog's just out with it. The dog ate my homework. All right, what else have we got? What if you put a lifeline? Put a lifeline in the easy way, pick up to add. Oh yeah, right. So that's actually a really interesting way as well for added length cut from Beb, is popping in a lifeline. Yeah, that will work as well. Kapua, Nikki is saying, that's yes, kapua, and that I think with this, if you've got Lumiere in your stash, and I know a few of you probably have got some of this looking around, this with that fine mohair would look amazeballs in Kapua. She has Roxana. Yes, you have got Lumiere. Yep. Honestly, this with that beautiful, really beautiful. I think that'd be quite lovely. Yeah, really lovely. What else did I have to tell you? I'm just looking at my notes here. Oh, yeah. So this morning, I'll tell you what I got up to this morning. So it's like I'm a bit snuffed up still. I've got hay fever. Can you believe it? Hay fever this time of year. So I've decided Wellington Wednesdays for me and our Howley Bag Wednesdays. Because of course I make the fatal mistake on a Wednesday morning before I come out here, my little sort of 1 hour or 40 minutes of quiet knit time, sort of selfish time to myself to have some knitting before I come and talk to all of you guys, is I watch David Lomas Investigates, and I watched it again this morning, which I've done every Wednesday morning, and of course every Wednesday morning I am Howley Bags. It is just when I think he can't produce a show that isn't as more moving as the one that he did on the previous week, yeah, Howley Bags. So the episode that I've just watched is just about bringing together a family, a Māori family who lost a family member in Australia who had a small infant son, and dad was Australian, didn't get reunited with mum, and didn't get reunited with the mother's whānau, stayed in Australia. They've been looking for this child for 50 years, and they reconnected, and it is yes, Howley Bags. Right. Sue's asking, will Bohemia Gothic be in stock? Yes, the short answer to that is yes. It's going through the mill. I think, in fact, it's been blended and it has been spun. I think it's waiting to be twisted. And it was all set to be ready out this month. And then, of course, lockdown happened. So I definitely know it is in the production schedule this month. And I'm hoping that Deborah will take receipt of that, if not at the end of this month, early next month. Deb might know better. I know she's been tracking it through the mill. So yes is the very short answer to that. And it's there's some new colours which I've seen the dips for, and it's really looking forward to Gothic coming back. It'll be so good. So this morning, Howley Bags for me, watched David Lomas, and then after I watched David Lomas, I got a text from Nathan, aka Sockmatician, saying, let's do a dry run for our chat and let's have a chat. So him and I did this, but offline, so we could test our equipment out and everything. And I'm like, he's like, "You all right?" And I was just watching TV and our Howley Bags. So which then brings us to tomorrow. I have got Nathan on tomorrow, aka Sockmatician. Really excited about that. I've been trying to get him find a time that we can both do this for the last 4 weeks. So we've got our technology nailed, and we've done a drone run, and we're super excited. So we're going to talk about what he's been working on. He's been doing some projects in Sockmatician Edition. We're going to talk about his new book that he's been working on, and we're just going to talk about life under lockdown in London, which I think many of you will find interesting. He showed me some photos. Him and Ben went out for a late night walk through central London night before last, and it was really quite amazing. So we're going to talk about that. Sylvia is saying she's got 5 balls of Rowan Kid Silk Haze. What yarn could I strand with it to give me sport or DK weight? Sylvia, great question. If you're wanting a sport weight yarn, you would definitely be looking at stranding that with one of the laces that we have up in the sales section, and you could possibly push that out to pearl luster as well. So that plus that Rowan will get you a sport weight, and it'll be good cover factor if you went to sport weight. If you're wanting to get close to a DK weight using those two, using your Kid Silk Haze, I would be putting that with a 4-ply. So Sockmatician 4-ply would be absolutely perfect to double strand with the Rowan to get you a DK. But even our skein sock would work, or the other one would work depending on the colours that you've got, because I know Rowan Kid Silk Haze did actually have some really good vibrant colours, and if you were looking to match a vibrant colour, the cozy that we have, which is a rustic yarn like Perrindale, similar sort of handle, if you were to actually pop a Kid Silk Haze around that, it would give you a halo and it would soften that yarn up considerably, because you would get the softness from the halo from the kid silk haze. So that's also another one to consider. Cozy, but yes, cozy or sock petition full ply. You could do legacy as well, but I guess it's just matching colours, isn't it? Are you quite done down there? Right. Okay. All right then. Any other questions before me, or we're going to keep it nice and short today, because I can get on to loads of really exciting work, like making up vouchers for winners and things. Anything else for me while I'm here? Oh, I tell you what I am going to do. I am going to pop on the things right now. Barbara sent these to me the other day, and I really do think I'm going to have a lash. Marie. Try that again. Right, I'm going to do. Barbara sent me. And so I've just kind of popped up in the comments a South Island cheese roll recipe. Yes, there it is. They look delicious, and I'm definitely going to give that a go. And Barbara, I know you're in here, but she was telling me that she will often make them up in batches. And so you make them up in batches and roll them, don't you, Barbara, and then finish them off, like pull them out of the freezer and then finish them off when you need them, which I think is a brilliant idea. So if you're looking for sort of freezer snacks and stuff like that, because I mean the kids are still definitely at home for another week. Hopefully tomorrow we'll get a bit clearer idea of what level 2 will look like, but that actually could be a really nice recipe to have in the freezer, or even if the kids are heading back to school and they get home from school and I don't know what anyone else's are like, but mine are ravenous when they get home. Yeah, I was absolutely delighted. So I've gone and popped that in there. And I haven't really been doing a lot else in regards to the exciting cooking front. I've made more feijoa and banana loaf, which I talked about the other day. And what else have I done? No, I haven't really done anything else. I need to do another orange cake, actually, because I have got everything still for orange cake. So I might do another one of those just to mix things up a little bit. But if there's nothing else, I'm actually going to buzz off and do some work and keep things nice, short and sweet, especially since my little friend down here is quite insistent that I have to be the centre of his world this morning and not you guys. So I hope you have a great day, and do make sure you're here tomorrow for Nathan. It will be so good to see him tomorrow, and he will be here at 11 o'clock. But until then, have a great day. With any luck, can we see if we can make it 3 in a row for the big 0? I hope so. That would be wonderful. Until then, I'll see you then. Bye.